Now, today we're discussing um, resistance. How is resistance formed? Today we're talking about resistance. If you Google it, Google what resistance is all about, particularly when it comes to trading, you are going to see a definition that is well crafted out to tell you what it is. And but there's something that is important about it that you might not see everywhere. So it's the fact that it is formed, how it is formed. So when we talk about resistance, is a force. Naturally, when you talk about resistance or being restricted, it means there is the you are trying to do something, but there is some level of forces that are trying to what to hinder the progression in which you want to go. That is what resistance is all about. So the same thing is what resistance is all about. You see, price wants to move to a new height, or it wants to go lower, but there are some force it wants to go higher. Rather, it wants to go high because the force of resistance deal with price going resisting price from going higher. Yes, resisting price from going higher. Yes, and of course that is that. So how is resistance formed? Now the first thing is you are going to have a candle, which is going to, in this case, is you are going to have the bull candle first. So if you haven't watched the other candle that demystify how support is formed, it is important you watch it so that you have perfect understanding of what we're talking about. So these are some of the things, some of the concepts that I struggle with in my early days in trading career. So I don't want you to go through the same thing. That's why we're sharing all of this. So this is the first thing you have. Then the candle that follow immediately, it has to be immediate candle that follows it. So let's see. And this has to be a bear candle. A bear candle. So where then is the resistance? The resistance is at the top here. So you are going to mark it. It will inclusive, yeah. So this is where the resistance is. The resistance is located in that region. Yeah, so this is where the resistance is. So all of this region, this is where the resistance is. So if a new candle is formed now, if the price must go up, if price wants to go higher, then price must close above this, zone with a body. Very important. It has to be a body. If it closes with a wick, eh, that is most of the time that's what we call most of the time false breakout. Yeah, it has to break out it has to close with the body. Very, very important. Yeah. So what that means is this: if you spot this on H1 and you are expecting that, oh, this resistance is strong, so if price is able to close above this place, then I'll be looking for what? For a buy, a continuation. Maybe what price is doing before is that price is buying, then it got to this place, it created this resistance, so you're expecting that, okay, as soon as this happens, so you are going to be looking for a buy. Then if that is the case, you must also stick to that 1 hour time frame to ensure that 1 hour candle closes above that place. Because what you are seeing here, if you go to M15, for instance, several M15 candle might close above this place. Yes, and eventually, when this H1 candle wants to close eventually, maybe now finally close like this. and leave all of these places that has been giving you confusion on M15. You see, price on H1 finally closed like this. Eventually, price might choose not to go higher, may start falling down. Yes, price may start coming down like that, start falling down. So in that case, you have shoot yourself in the leg because you lack patience. So this is resistance. So resistance is always formed when a bear candle follow immediately after the what? After the bull candle. And resistance is always formed at the top here, not at the bottom. It's only support that is formed at the bottom. But of course, the bottom of this one is not support. Yes, because for support to be formed, it has its own formation of candle. So, but for this particular one, for a resistance to be formed, it has to be what? It has to be that there will be first, there will be a bull candle, then the next, there will be a what? A bear candle. Okay, let's now look at this in real chart. Let's go to H4 time frame. Okay, so look at this. Here is a bull candle, followed immediately by what? By a bear candle. So you are going to mark, this place. We mark it up like this for the two candle, then we can stretch it. So this particular place now become what? Becomes a resistance zone. So you have to watch out each time when price come back to that zone in the next in the future, you want to see what happened there. Price may choose to react, and when price react from there, so you now know what exactly you want to do. You can see immediately this resistance is formed. The first candle came there. The bull candle was trying to what? Was trying to pull through, but it couldn't. Then the zone was rejected. The bear candle also was formed. Tried to do the same thing, but immediately it was forced to what? To come down. So this is a pure resistance. So resistance is always formed between the bull candle and the bear candle. So the bull candle has to come first. So this is another one. So when you are marking it, you have to mark the wick of both of them. Very, very important. So let's stretch this. Okay, you can see. Okay, let's also look at another one. This is another one. Though this is a doji, but it's still a bullish doji. So you can mark it. Yeah, you can mark the place. So this is a resistance. So when this price comes, you can see it was resisted from going forward. And what happened? It drops. So this is on BTC, Bitcoin. So this same thing is, look at this one too. This is also another resistance here. Bull candle followed by a bear candle. So you're going to limit it to where, okay, let me try to zoom it out so that you see it. So what do you have here? What we have here, yeah, so we mark it. So this is what we have. So this zone is a resistance zone, and you see when eventually price came back to that zone, you can see eventually price does what? Price has to what? Still close within. Now this is a typical example of what I said. Okay, if you go, let's go on H1 for instance, and let's see what happens. Okay, now if you, okay, you can see price, okay, price price couldn't still close above the zone here, above the resistance zone here. But let's look at M30. Let's look at M30. Yes, look at M30. Now what do you see here? Price closed above. This is where a lot of people will just jump in. Oh, this is a zone that we have drawn. Price has closed above it. It's time for us to look for what? A buy. As soon as you punch the button to buy, boom. What happened? Price start falling. You can see this. Yes, very, very important. So um, if you go back from what I've explained before, where you mark the zone, you want to be sure we mark it in H4. So you want to be sure that H4 candle must close above the zone with a body. Very, very important. It has to close above that mark zone with a body, not weak. If it's able to close above it with a body, then you can be assured that it's like the price want to go up. Then there are other confirmation you have to see as well. So you don't just say, oh, price wants to go up, then I need to start buying. No, you have to what? Because in trading, direction and confirmation, very, very important. The two of them are very, very important. You have to find your direction. Where is price going? Then what give me the confirmation that now price is ready to go in that direction? Because sometimes you may get your direction right and you miss the timing, which is the confirmation. So the confirmation sometimes can make your trade go wrong, and this happen a whole lot of time. A whole lot of time. You can see some traders shouting, and price after price kick me out. It's not going in my direction. This is what happened a whole lot of time. You actually know that price wants to sell. Oh, you even know that price wants to buy. But what happened? You were not patient enough, or probably some of the confirmation techniques you are using is not giving you, or it doesn't have so much, it doesn't have so many components that can help you factor what exactly is wrong with the system before you start what? Before you start selling or buying. So it's very, very important. So you have to take note of that. So in order for you to avoid constant price taking you out before going in your direction, you have to take note of your confirmation. Very, very important. So this is how resistance is formed.